why did you decide to write a book about diastasis recti?
I wrote diastasis recti because it's a very, very common issue. And I think that many people believe that there is nothing that they have control over regarding the issue. And so I just wanted to say, before you go to very drastic or invasive measures for fixing something about your musculoskeletal system, that you first explore just how much you have and have not been moving your body. That it could be that this issue that we have, diastasis recti, is really only an issue because of how sedentary we are overall. So I wanted people to see that there are many people who have healed this area of their body, certainly become stronger, maybe even before they had diastasis recti, simply through movement. And so I thought I would put the program down that many people have been using just into a book and explain how it comes about in many different ways and what you can do about it.
Talking about movement, are there any specific moves or types of movement that are especially dangerous when you do have diastasis recti, or especially recommended when you have it?
I think the best way to approach that question is diastasis recti is not something that you necessarily want to exercise around. I think we do exercise for fitness sometimes, and we do movement for fitness, and we do movement for health, and we often think of them as separate. And sometimes what we do for fitness doesn't help us out with things always related to health. So before you continue on with exercising, you actually look at your structure and say, I think I need to repair some of these weaknesses around before I take and do something large fitness. So when people ask when is it safe to go back to regular exercise, it's like, well, when you've noticed a great improvement in the way that you can carry your own body, the way that your own body can carry its own weight well.
Many of our readers have been asking questions about jogging and like plank, like any of these exercises or types of movement that are normally quite popular. So are these recommended, or when is the good time you can go and exercise in such a way if you've had diastasis recti?
Well, I think when you have a notice, it's kind of the same whether you pursue fitness or particular exercises. Many exercises can be used as a corrective if you know what to do during that exercise. So certain exercises are often contraindicated for diastasis recti because I don't think people know enough about how to adjust their form so they're not straining particular tissues. So rather than avoid certain movements, my perspective is, how can you learn more about how to hold your own weight well and strengthen certain areas so you can kind of do whatever movement you want to do. It's just that there's a foundation of movement ability that might be missing, and we're kind of jumping forward with the bigger things when there might be some smaller refinements needed.
So your message would be like, come back to the basics, and only from then you can go further. Right?
Yeah, it's like writing. You want to make sure that when you're writing words that you're not leaving out certain letters, because it kind of muddles what it is that you're saying. So if you think about your movement as something that is communicating something, that you want to make sure that you've got all of the letters to put together before you express it. So come back. And for some people, though, it's not a back, it's almost a forward. For some people, some of these simple motions, they're small, but they're not necessarily easy. Some of them are quite difficult, quite fatiguing. They're just small, is all.